Hello, 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 ladies and gentlemen. Welcome along to the Monday night live stream of round 3 of the European Le Mans Series Online Championship here in Le Mans Ultimate. This race is going to be at Imola, and it is going to be our first mixed conditions or wet race of the season, which should be interesting. I quite enjoy these, as you know, if you tuned in to my streams in the past. Do like a bit of rain and some mixed conditions just to throw some spanners in the works and make things a little bit more intense, intriguing, and hopefully have more opportunity in order to get some good positions and all that good thing. We are in split 1 of 5 here this evening. Quite a few sign-ups, especially in the GT class, and we're joined by 2 other streamers. We've got Jardier in here. He's driving the LMP2 car though, so hopefully he'll be nice and kind to us. And then we got Basically once again in his Lexus, so we'll be looking and aiming to try and beat him here in tonight's race, as we almost did last week at Algarve, but didn't quite manage to get there in the end. Just needed a couple more laps and we probably would have been able to do it. Obviously it was suffering quite a bit of damage as well at the end, which helped us close in a little bit in the latter half of the second stint. But still, it was a good fun race nonetheless. Anyway, just prepping myself ready for the beginning of today's session, where qualifying I think will be in the wet conditions. The setup is an advancement of what I had previously for the Ford Mustang here at Imola. It's still not 100% perfect, but it feels pretty good and better than it did previously, I'd say. But then again, we're also in the wet conditions as well, so things are a little bit different there in that regard. But yeah, I'm fairly happy with it at the moment, so intrigued to see what we can actually do in converting and trying to get a good result here for this race. We have just over a minute until we go into qualifying, as wet tyres do not count towards your tyre allocation, and the track should be wet. Yeah, so 60% wet now, and it's currently raining as well. We will be going out on track pretty much as soon as the qualifying session begins, and trying to get some laps in straight away. We'll probably do a couple of runs, I reckon. Try and do 2 or 3 runs. 2 or 3 timed laps per run. See if we can squeeze that in. The laps kind of in and around the 150, 151 mark, depending on how wet it actually is. I think it's going to be pretty wet for the qualifying session, considering current track wetness is 60%. Go ahead and bring up the game so you can see all that information and everything. And yeah, you can see the forecast here. Rain at the moment. It is due to be starting off wet for the race. And I think it might potentially dry out, and then there'll be more rain later. So trying to get the pit stop timed right is going to be pretty crucial, I'd say, in finding that crossover point, which I'm not entirely sure where it actually sits here with these GTs at this circuit. So that in itself is going to be interesting. We're kind of going to have to rely on other people. Anyway, here we go. Heading over into qualifying now. As we transition across. Give me. Thank you. And let's go ahead and get ourselves out onto the track. This track is showing dry. Okay, interesting. It is actually dry. Well, that's very strange. So we are actually going to end up using tyres which I don't want to be doing. I want to be holding on to the tyres. Ah, how interesting. I can kind of see why they would have done this. Obviously, if the qualifying session's dry, then things are generally a lot more equal in terms of track grip, excuse me, and performance. If things are wet, then obviously there's going to be a bit more variation there. So we shall sit and remain in the pits for the moment, and we will head out onto the circuit. Not necessarily straight away, although I am kind of feeling that we probably should be going out relatively soon to try and get a lap in, because I don't know how thick this rain is going to be when it comes. So, yeah, let's go ahead and get ourselves out on track. Especially, it's now raining as well. Cool. So we've got drizzle at the moment. I should have gone out on track straight away. Never mind. We'll do what we can. So obviously everyone else's tyre temperatures are going to be up to temperature in their first flying lap, which may be the driest lap of them all. All the LMP2s are now flying through. Obviously, qualifying is just a single only car visible on track scenario, so we're not blocking or impeding them or anything. But this is going to be interesting because I've not really done any dry tyre running at all here in this race, so or here for this race, shall I say. So this is going to be really, really interesting. Setup may actually end up being terrible, we don't know. Grip levels at the moment feel really inconsistent. Tyres moving around an awful lot. So this could end up being a really tricky session. Hello Dot, how's it going, buddy? Hello everyone else lurking as well. Hope you've all had a good weekend and a good start to your week. Let us know if you've been up to anything exciting. So this is the problem with Imola. The track doesn't really have any substantial high load corners at high speed, so your tyres are never really get any proper heat in them. So they're always stone cold, and in this sort of scenario where it is very lightly drizzling, the track is going to stay cold and wet. Yeah, track temperature 19.7 degrees at the moment. So we're really going to have to try and feel our way around this track. Try and judge the grip levels just right. .62, okay. This is the corner that concerns me the most. It's coming into here and losing the rear end. Setup's quite geared towards wet weather. Hello, Sarosa. Good to see you, mate. Good to see you here. Yeah, it's quite geared towards wet weather, so the front is quite soft. Therefore, it dives quite a lot going into the braking zone there and unloads the rear. Makes it pretty easy to lose. Right, we're starting to get a little bit more temperature in the tyres now. Still not anywhere near as much as I want to. Track is now damp. 7.8. Knocking on 15. Definitely time to be found though. Need to be flat all the way through there. Gaining time, which is good, but feels like others have really got a setup underneath them that really works. In these dry conditions, in particular. Chicane could have been a little bit neater and tidier. Alright, where's this going to put us? Should be a decent gain. P14. I was expecting a little bit more than that. Car's really moving around. Took the kid roller skating, had a day off, cover school holidays. Very nice. Busy weekend, out in the sun. Very nice. Good. Yeah. Way off track there. This is so tricky. These conditions. There's no point in going any further because we're just going to be taking life out the tyres, and it feels like the track is also getting wetter and worse. Some of the pace of some of the people here is pretty crazy. 44. 46.8. They did a, what, 44? 44.8. It's 2 seconds quicker. At least we're ahead of Basic Ollie. That's the main thing. Yep, LMU is announced in Silverstone coming. Be playable at ELMS in September, which I would consider going if it wasn't my my mum's birthday that weekend. And yeah, that is quite a good question. Right. Did work out a bit of a strategy for this, but it's very, very loose depending on what the weather's actually going to do. No. Don't stop doing stupid stuff. The window. We're going to be needing that at least for the race. This first stint. We have managed to qualify ahead of Basic Ollie. Where did Jardier? E2. Oh, very nice. Right.
Go to the grid for a race start.
I think it's going to be a wet start. Indeed, it's raining enough, slightly wet as well. Cool. Thought as much. Right, so I'm just going to do that just to be sure. Leave everything else as is, as default. Take that down just a notch. Should be all good on that. Save this. So I think the track does evolve throughout the qualifying session door. So even in the wet, other people driving around does have an impact. What are we in? Mixed conditions. Race. 34. Everyone else ahead of us on wet tyres, so we should make sure that we are on them. So we need 17 laps. Go for about there. And then we'll see what we do with regards to the tyres. So that's going to be interesting. It may be the case that we end up switching to dries, or we may end up staying on wet. I imagine we'll have to switch to dries at some point. Oops, daisy. That's a car off there. Alright, here we go with Imola's crazy starts. I absolutely hate these. But at least we avoided getting a drive-through penalty, but that was a really slow reaction there by that BMW. It's a lot of spray up in front. So we're up 2 places already. Trying to see through the spray. Looks like there's a bit of chaos unfolding in front, but it's really hard to see, as you can tell. We can pick up some early places here in these opening corners. That'll be ideal though. We managed to do. Porsche's off. That's a freebie. Up to P11. Can we make it to the top 10 before the end of the opening lap? I Thank you for the well wishes, Dor. Haven't just seen that. Well, starting from P19 up to P11 on the opening lap. Pretty good. Happy with that. More people off. Only the issue, drivers still wet here. Yep. Yep, there's more trouble up ahead as well. There we go, into the top 10 before the end of lap 2. Trying to take it relatively nice and steady, try and get a bit of fuel saving going, see if we can build a little bit of an advantage to everyone else as well. Whilst obviously trying to keep ourselves on track. LMP2 coming up behind. He was able to take the apex. I was hoping the LMP2 might compromise its Mustang slightly, but alas, that did not happen. Though the Mustang is struggling with traction. Hello, Michael. How's it going? Just trying to get myself comfy. Oh, very deep there. The brake discs are glowing as well. Imagine what they're going to be like when it's dry. My God. No. Oh, shit. That's really not what I wanted. Oh my God, that suspension damage is really bad as well. No, absolutely killing that front right tyre. Hey Grim. Yep, very unfortunate timing that. Absolutely zero grip. Oh, they're gone. At least they had the space to avoid the wall. Might as well fill up fully. Change that front right. Leave the rest. 134 seconds, Jesus. 2 and a bit minutes. That's really not the start, especially when we had the pace over that Mustang in front. I just caught the curb as I looked in the rearview mirror as we were going out the exit of that corner to see the Aston Martin getting closer behind. Jardier's leading. But yeah, I think I may have caught the gravel on the outside there as well. I don't really know. It's hard to... It was hard to tell as it all kind of happened in a bit of a blur, but obviously I was trying to line myself up for a good run off the exit to try and get past the Mustangs. Seemed very reluctant to let us go. But we got ourselves a very, very long race now to try and close up in on some other people. I mean, others may have misfortune as well, and we might be able to claw a bit of a result back with the conditions changing, but unlikely, I think. Especially as everyone is now a lap ahead as well. $123 seconds, so it's 2 minutes to basically change suspension arms, springs, front bumper. Which isn't necessarily too unrealistic. Well, we have a race between myself and the Porsche. Thankfully, pretty much all the LMP2s have gone through. So in our opening laps here, we don't really have to worry. We're just now well over a lap behind everybody else. We're about a lap and a half behind E20. So I think I did that. Obviously this time I'm a bit more wary of it and didn't have the bite or the snap of oversteer, but I think just as I was getting onto full throttle, just dipping the wheel over the other side of the curb into the gravel. His Porsche behind might have a bit of pace. Saw that one coming all day long when he braked that late. Hello, Nikki. How's it going? The wet tyres are not included in the limit, no. So we can use as many wet tyres as we wish. Alright, 52, 3. Just over half a second elapsed slower than the race leaders. Although on that one, they were much, much quicker. But then again, the track does also seem to be improving fairly quickly. Getting pretty dry. About held onto that one. First bit of track limits. Deep. Impressive. They do have, yep. That's what the my impressive comment was about. The fact that he outbroke himself there and bumped the LMP. Well, the track is drying, but I don't think it's dry enough yet for slicks. Line through there, pretty horribly wrong. Still an hour to go. Big question is, when do we jump to slick tyres? Quite bad understeer there. I imagine a lot of people are going to be holding out for the track to dry a little bit more so they can get the crossover point slightly better when it comes to switching, trying to coincide that with like a scheduled pit stop. that's better. It's so hard to know when to change. Just like the moment you go offline, you're onto wet, damp stuff. Just going to lose you all tyre heat. If water does actually impact tyre temperatures here in Le Mans Ultimate, I'm not sure if it does or not. The current strategy is saying if we pit lap 31, we're going to need 38% virtual energy. Which is fine if we pit then, but if we pit beforehand, it's a little bit more difficult to calculate. One too many gears. Right, track is now damp. I'd say it's time for slicks. So what do we reckon pit next lap? So I think if we pit in the next lap or so, we should be able to make it to the end without having to take any more fuel on board. If we do, it's going to be a very quick splash. But there, I'm pretty sure we're going to have to do another pit stop anyway because it's due to rain. What do we reckon we should do, chat? And if we do pit for slicks, do we go used mediums, which will come up to temperature much quicker, or do we go brand new slicks? That's not ideal, though. Everything looks all good on my end. Yeah, it's now saying dry tires. Right. Used mediums on you. Charlie just cruising out up in front. Alright, we're gonna go for used mediums. And that's a bit of a bummer to hear, guys. Sorry about that. Everything looks all good on my end. No drop frames or anything like that. Stream status saying excellent. I don't know why it's giving a little bit of grief. Oh my god, of course, just as I go into the pits it starts to rain, doesn't it? Dearie me. I'm not having any luck with this. Okay, so it's not necessarily just a me thing, it's YouTube. Come on, Tice. Temperature, please. Which there is absolutely none, we can see. We might be able to stick this out. Once the tyres get up to temperature. The forecast is saying mostly cloudy. At the moment we do have just drizzle. Hopefully with all the cars circulating around, kind of keeps the track somewhat dry enough. That's my hope. It's very moist there, Lorek. We are not having a good race. Started off really good. Like the first couple of laps went from P19 up into basically P10 by the end of lap 2. Then we had a mistake which spun us into the wall, got quite heavy, severe suspension damage, which is over 2 minutes worth of repair or pit stop time. So we've kind of been travelling around the back at P20, P21, and then track was drying enough for slick tyres, but literally as the slick tyres were going onto the car, it started raining. The thing is, I can go to the end from here without having to make another stop. We got the fuel for it. Tyres should last. They will be warm by the end, but should be able to get him now. And yeah, there's just under 45 minutes to go, so there's opportunities. Essentially. Especially if people such as these two in front really do keep going at it hammer and tongs and pick each other off and the like. The only thing now is the grip levels are really inconsistent. Tyres are biting, unbiting. It's getting like little micro snaps. Making it tricky. But it seems like there's pace there. Despite the rain falling, it does feel like... It says as it goes, runs off the track. Pace is starting to come to dry tyre. Now we're starting to get some reasonable heat into the tyres too. Heard them going and I should have reacted sooner. It's taking a chunk of tyre life out of them. My brake pedal's squeaking a lot. It's starting to really annoy me. As it's proving to be quite a distraction. Don't touch the wet stuff. And again. Now we got no rear wing. I don't usually do it, but I'm going to. That'd be that race. That's pretty annoying and unfortunate. But yeah, I'm not going to get anything from continuing that. I'm going to just hot, sweaty, and more frustrated. So yeah, we'll jump out and take a look at the replay. And we'll see about doing one of the other daily races or something like that. That race start did go off well. Yeah, I do feel a little bit unlucky as of late. We've not had necessarily the best of races and results, the best of luck. We've had a couple of good races, like last week at Algarve. That was pretty good. P6. G-Man 495. Thank you very much for subscribing to the channel. That's much appreciated. Say hi if you're here in the live stream chat. But yeah, we're just not having the best of time, even in the World Endurance Championship. That race at Spa last week was rather bleh, shall we say. Quite a frustrating first stint, and then we did manage to claw back and get ourselves up to P7 in the end. But we should have been up much higher. Had one or two silly contacts. Right, everything's a lot brighter than normal at the moment because yeah, the weather and everything hasn't synced. It's slowly doing this thing. They really need to figure out how to sort these starts here at Imola, because these gaps are a little bit crazy. Like here now, I'm on the pit limiter, and look at the space that I got between myself, the car in front, and then also the cars behind. Thankfully for me, there was a load of space, and this guy didn't react, so that was a position gained already. Oh my god. Well, P1 had a fantastic start, look. They have a hardware failure or something. There they go. Now they finally got going. But yeah, I saw that. You missed loads of fun, Jensen. So yeah, we made one position already. Now there's a couple of cars off there, but they're on MP2s, so we picked up that position off the Ferrari there. This Lamborghini is quite cautious, so around the outside of him we go. We have the inside line here for the hairpin. Oh dear. That's a freebie. Yeah, it was a lot of spray. So that all went quite nicely. And we managed to get a good run here on this Mustang. He rather bravely held on to it around the outside. Very close. Yeah. It's just that single little dip of the tyre into the gravel, and that was that. Just there. And yeah, that is very true. Everything just kind of unraveled from that moment on, or this moment on, should I say. Now it's heavy damage. Yeah, you missed me crashing, JPS. And yeah, it's definitely a lot more severe in LMU. It's probably more realistic. I'd say the damage in ACC was quite light. I found. It's kind of hard to describe. So the damage in ACC, I think, affects the car more in terms of general aero damage. Whereas the aero damage doesn't have so much of an impact on the cars here in LMU. But just, the repair times are much, much greater than ACC, it feels like. Either way, let's see if we can have some fun in some other form of race. Oh, so they've got Kota races the next thing here now already. I don't really want to do LMGT3 fixed. Do prototype trophy. These, yeah, they are fixed setup races. How long is the race? 30 minutes. The other thing we could do is we could do a livery. Just chill and do that. So let us know what you fancy. Livery or do a race. Let's see if I can create, here we go, a poll. There we go. We're starting a poll in the chat. I'll let that go for like a minute or so. So yeah, we'll give that a minute or so, and then we shall figure out what to do. So at the moment, race is winning. Make sure we get that vote in on that poll. See what you guys fancy. We'll give it another 30 seconds or so before we register. That is, obviously, if the race does go ahead. So JPS is the one who's voted for the livery then. Yep, that's very true, Dor. Whereas it's very, very difficult to get very heavy, almost terminal damage in ACC. Obviously, you can get very heavy damage and lose wheels and whatnot, but it's not too bad. Right. Ending the poll. Race wins. Shall we go LMP2? I reckon we should go LMP2. And we're going with delivery as well. Alright, there's no point in joining practice, because we ain't going to be getting any practice in. So we are purely just going off, like, straight in. Hard dogging it. It's been so long since I've driven Algarve in the LMP2. I have driven it before, so I kind of know what to expect, but it's been a long, long time, so this should be good fun. I imagine we'll probably have some pretty substantial rating loss from the online championship race, because I think it's that's a good, like, 3 times 3 multiplier. Yeah, I've seen other people mention that as well, though, in Discord. I don't know if it is possibly related to the fact that I've got race control subscription. I'd like to think that it's not, and it's just some weird bug or issue, because I kind of get it if it was tied to the subscription, but also that's a little bit cheeky. Either way, let's see what comes of this race. Hopefully it does actually register us nice and cleanly, and we get into this specific one. Let's say an event underway now. There we go. Right, we can join it. Cool. So we're going to pretty much straight away just get out on track. I don't care about the fuel load. I just want to get out on track and get practicing, start turning some laps, and then we can worry about fuel later. Well, this should be good done. Good fun. 30-minute race. Take us to pretty much the same point that we would finish. We were actually doing the rest of the ELMS race. Maybe a little bit over, but ain't nothing too bad. There we go, Ruin. Inked. Not ever seen that before. Alright. Let's get going, get out onto track. Do that with brake bias. Right, TC 6 4. Ah, okay. But that we can't really change. Spow asked, do we have time warmers in this? But no, we don't. Hey, I've also got my squeaky brake to contend with as well. What about that? It has been so long since I've driven LMP2s. Switch my RPM profile on my steering wheel because it's flashing and telling me to shift way earlier than I should be. Feels really reluctant to pick up and accelerate off of corners. Don't know if that's a visual slash audio thing, slash sensor speed, or whether that is my traction control settings or something like that running too high. Right, here we go, qualifying. Let's open this up real quick though and do that. No, wrong bit. Yeah, as is. Right. Here we go then, heading out on track. Let's see what we can do in terms of qualifying. I don't expect us to be up anywhere near the sharp end because I imagine the majority of people who are participating in these races have been practicing in these cars, therefore are up to speed, whereas I'm coming in very heavily inexperienced. Try and do what I can to not lock the brakes. Especially where the tyres are cold. Nice and steady. Again, try not to take too much tyre life out of that front left. Once we do have a bit more temperature in the tyres, we can commit to turn one a little bit harder. Or do you have any recent experience with the LMP2 and therefore tips whether I should be going lower on the brake pressure? So I put this up to 98 and the default was down at like 76 or something like that, so obviously I can't get anywhere near 100% brake pressure. I wasn't just going to be locking, but I feel like I'm fairly happy with the pressure as it is. So I'm gonna go and stuff up the braking zone there. To 85, okay. Thing is, I'm starting to get my eye in a little bit in terms of the braking. Obviously, we're doing a terrible job of lap time and stuff at the moment, but oh my god. Yeah, there's a lot of time to be found. Right, let's see if we can get a good lap in here. Not by running around wide like that. Yeah, that's true, though. I probably will knock it down a little bit. Trying to get used to the braking points and everything again. It's almost like hypercar, but not quite. I think that should be left on full. Ready for that one. Such a tricky braking zone. To go over the crest, it gets very low. Low sort of downforce. Much better there. This is another corner where we can really make up a lot of time. There we go, lovely. Managed to hold it flat through there that time. And that got us closer to the top 10. Right, I'm going to see if I can quickly sort my brake pedal, see what is the actual issue with it. Okay, there's nothing immediately obvious in terms of it, like, potentially being loose. Which is what sometimes causes it to squeak. So I think I'm gonna have to go lube up the inside again.
Teams and drivers go to the grid for a race start.
There we go. Alright, don't know how much fuel is going to be needed. 30-minute race. Lap times were 1:36. I don't know, guys. Full tank, we're doing that. And then we'll add whatever we need, I think. Right. Here we go. First LMP2 race in quite a while. Indeed, Jensen.
Formation lap has started.
Shall be trying to represent as the Brits. Right, tyres aren't stone cold, but pretty cold. Music there. Right, here we go. Ready for that start.
Green flag, green flag.
Pretty decent jump. Or reaction to the lights, shall I say. Up all over that inside curb. Oh my god, this is chaos. Chaos, but we're at 4 places. Alright, come on, Yorkie. Head in the game. Let's try and get in the flow. Rhythm. Try and keep up with the cars in front. Right, we started to find a relatively happy medium. It is going to be a splash and dash in this race. Ah, I see. Thank you for the heads up, Jensen. 5 or 6 laps fuel to add. At the moment it's saying 8. But this is obviously very early days and we were not up to speed for that first lap going over the line. So my fuel calculator will get more accurate. Just gotta watch getting on power. Power does bite on you. It feels like you get very little response and all of a sudden the power then kicks in. Like there. Try second. Yeah, it might short shift. But it feels like first is getting me better drive off the corners. Yeah, I don't get a rotation that I want in second. Try not to take too much out of the tyre there. Some little short shifting. Order. Still deep. Amazing how the front tyres get all the temperature and the rear's left to struggle. Yellow flag up ahead. Was one of the GT3s. Come on, Yorkie. You need to get back into the flowing rhythm. Everyone else is picking up their pace. Ooh. A little bit terrifying. Though I do wonder if people in front have taken lighter fuel loads, because they're saying just need an extra 2 litres. 2 litres? 2 laps worth of fuel at the moment. Although I think that's wrong. Guys now really starting to struggle. There we go. We're through. A nice classic switchback there. Algarve turn 1. We held on to it. Right. 5.5 seconds to the car up in front. And it's going to be a big ask to catch them, but reduce the rate that we're losing ground to them. That would be good, especially with multi-class traffic coming up in the next few laps. Deep. Way too deep. one of them into the pits already. I think that some of them might be running lower fuel loads. Whoa! Well, Spike got that very, very wrong. That braking zone. Say, I did think that he was missing a rear wing. Lo and behold, he was. Yeah, we got a bit deep there and lost a whole bunch of time. Move. They're lucky there's lifting and giving us some space on the outside there, which I didn't really want to be using. Not after what I was witnessing last week. With LMP2s killing murder on the GT3s. Oh, both of us kind of messed up that corner there. Yeah. It's not a nice bubble being in. I mean, it is to try and, like, figure out flow and lines and things, but cars up in front are too far away to kind of reference off of them, use their lines and braking points and things. At least you don't have the pressure coming from behind. That's a quite nice looking livery on that Mustang. Very funky. Guys up in front are all obviously a lot more comfortable driving this car than I am. Some very nice pace, 37s, 38s. My previous theory of them running less fuel than I am isn't actually true. They do just have that pace. That was awfully close there, Mr. GT3. Just in case it does go the extra lap, 'cause it's going to be very, very close, I think. Leaders in. A few more guys in. This guy going before we get there, or? Nope. We're back underway. We may have to do quite a bit of lifting coast here to make this. And we've got a guy up to speed, up to temperature just behind us as well. This is going to be fun. need to do quite a bit of lifting and coasting. Not quite got enough. I thought it was saying that I was going to add 6 litres in. 6 laps in. Evidently not. So here we go. Bit of lift and coast whilst also trying to defend. Shall be interesting. See, this traffic here is going to help us out. Running deep though is not. Okay, they're all into the pits. Right, we should be good. Now that the race leaders kind of slowed their pace a bit. That wasn't a good line. What was that? Hold on to this P5 though. Okay, that's one way to get out of the way. Much better line there. Oh, too early on the throttle. That's cost us big time. way too deep. Last lap. Oh, I was hoping they wouldn't. Of course it did. Of course, he's not going to give that the position either, is he? How much room do you want, bro? Not quite. Forced wide at the end there. Forced to give room, otherwise that would have been basically the same as what we saw last week between P1 and P2 in the LMP2 class. It's so frustrating. Stupid moves like that. Well, let's go and have a look at the start of that race. Because the opening, that was wild. So yeah, we got a good reaction to the lights. Let's try and dissect that a little bit. So I feel like this guy did a pretty big send on a couple of people, as we can see. It was a pretty cursed evening. We'll go there. Right, nope, that's not even the guy that I wanted. I mean, we'll go with this guy because he ends up dying here in the middle. Oh, and it gets hit by GT3. Oh, and hits the Mustang as well. It's not fun for him. This is the guy that I wanted to see because he was towards the front and then died. Oh, it's P3/4. Bit of oversteer there. Oh, and just unlucky catching the car in front. Oh, that's... yeah, that race very much done. Ugh. I could see what he was trying to do, trying to roll out of the way, but you just end up rolling into the apex and path of everybody else. So yeah, hold brakes there, too late, and then try going forward when everyone else is coming through. Ew. There was a couple of taps. See if we can get a better view. So that I would class as unlucky, right? Before there may be like a brush, but the way that the car reacted in this scenario does not fit the crime or the amount of contact that they had here, because it completely snaps the car round. Yeah, I see what you're saying there, Free Miner, in the sense that there's like a direct correlation or transfer of energy between one car and the other, rather than there being some absorption. It's one thing that ACC really does struggle and suck with, is the fact that it's like the car getting hit always comes worse off. Although this time it was kind of the other way around. But again, I still think that was unlucky with how the car reacted in that scenario. I don't think it was necessarily accurate. Yeah, I agree with you there, Freeminer. I'd say LMU's probably got the best collision netcode model of any of the sims out there at the moment. It feels pretty good. You can kind of lean on your opponents a little bit. It'd be nice if it did feel there was a slight bit more... Actually, no, I'd say it's good. I would say it's almost flawless. I just wish that the visuals and the actual damage of the cars actually represented real world a little bit more in terms of like having bodywork flex and all that sort of thing, but it's... soft body fixes is something that's quite difficult to do. Anyway, let's see what happened with us. It was here in turn one. I don't think this guy quite realised or anticipated me going down the inside. Yeah, snatched the brake themselves, and then I was hoping that I was going to be clear. I was hoping that it was going to slow down more, but alas, didn't. At least you did give the position back at the very, very end. Nice. I've not touched the GTEs in quite a long time. I think it was only, I think it was like it wasn't week 13 because it's not week 13 here in LMU, but basically the break week was the last time I did touch the GTEs. But yeah, that's not surprising that we lost driver rank. I was so close to silver rank 3 as well, I think, before the online championship race, because I would have lost a ton of rating there. So yeah, P7 in the end, after starting P11. Not too bad, it was just unfortunate with those incidents towards the end. Let's take a look at this one. The rank breakdown. So we only lost 2 positions in the end. Ooh. Yeah. That's quite a big rating loss. But that's not surprising. Ah, no, we've come off the top of Platinum Rank 3. We're no longer maxed out. Jardio won. Nice. By 11 seconds. Good job. Where did Basically finished P8 in the end. Good race for them. 2 of them, but yeah, we just had some absolutely rotten and horrible luck with that. Yeah, even Anodi, the Porsche that we're kind of just behind, still finished P17, so that wouldn't have been a big gain from that. But man, not a great evening of racing. I mean, the kind of half fun when things were going well, but yeah, we really struggled to have things go our way tonight, which is a real shame. But sometimes the way things go, we do have the next round of the World Endurance Championship on Thursday. Just bear with me one very quick moment as I go and have a look at what that race is going to be, as I can't quite remember off the top of my head. It's not Spa. I know that much because that was last week. Come on! That's what it was. Cool. So that'll be good fun, hopefully. I'm hoping it's the normal version of Le Mans and not the boring Mulsanne version where they take out all the Mulsanne chicanes. It'd be nice to actually have the chicanes in this time, because quite a few of the last World Endurance Championship rounds that I've done have been the Mulsanne layout, so it'd be nice to have that little bit of change of pace there. And yeah, hopefully the race will go much better. But that'll be my next race, which will be Thursday evening, same time again, 7 PM UK time, or British Summer Time, GMT +1. However you want it described in your current time zone. But nonetheless, thank you very much everyone for tuning in this evening. I hope that you have a good couple of days up until Thursday, and of course the rest of the week as well. But I hope to see you back then for Thursday evening, where we'll be back in the Valkyrie and trying to do well at Le Mans. Until then, though, have fun, look after yourselves, stay safe, and take care.